In my former life, before my accident, I was a crazy cyclist.
I had a weekly goal of 250 Ks. I spent 10 to 15 hours a week on my bike, and I loved everything about it. Cycling is all about marginal gains.
And I'll talk about Dave Brailsford and Sir Dave Brailsford, and he was a guy that was introduced to British cycling. When he was introduced, British cycling was nowhere. They had no good cyclists. They were laughed at as far as their European counterparts were concerned, and they came up with a big statement saying, we're gonna start to make some big waves here. So the last 9 years, 6 Tour de France champions were British. Which is just unheard of in the history of Tour de France. Also, the British cycling team in the Olympics now is dominant. And how did Dave Brailsford take them from being zero to being absolute heroes? Is he applied this concept called the power of marginal gains. And his idea was, how do you improve someone or something incredibly? You take small aspects of it, and you might take 20, or you start with 5. And it's not hard to improve each little aspect by 1 or 2%. So that's really not impossible, and it's very human. It's inhuman to improve something by 50%, 100%, 200% overnight. But overnight, it's not hard to do the 1%, to do the 2%. And you apply this to, say, 20 different aspects of a cyclist, and you find over a period of time, they become incredible cyclists and incredible athletes. And it's what I loved about cycling. It's how do I even just, I would work on my flexibility. So how do I, and if you're more flexible, you can lower yourself down on the handlebars just that little bit more, so that you're maybe 1% more aerodynamic. And that's enough. If I get more flexibility, I'm a little bit lower. Also, my handlebars, if they're not as wide, if I buy a slightly narrower set of handlebars, I'm gonna be slightly more aerodynamic. And how marginal gains applies to my dentistry and my surgery is that every surgery, I'm looking to improve something. What's one thing that I could have done better? And I write it down. And you remember that for the next time.
Another area I apply marginal gains to is in the quality of materials I use for the implants I place. There are actually some really high-level studies proving that it's better to use certain brands of implants for longevity.